Hey, what's happening, Spider Friends? Welcome back to Kwingsletsplays, and today we're looking at the red and blue suit, the new suit, the final suit of Tom Holland's Spider-Man.
Yeah!
From the movie No Way Home. The last 30 seconds of the movie consist of this beautiful suit. So if you're worried about story spoilers or any of that other stuff, don't worry about that nonsense and smash that like button. Also, subscribe to our channel if you're new, because we're just doing some free roaming and beating up some bad guys, some web slinging, all that, fun stuff right there, aside from colliding with the building. Ouch.
Beating up bad guys hype. Excelsior!
That's right. So the only thing about this suit that we know lore-wise is the fact that it's literally at the end of the 2021 Spider-Man movie that featured Tom Holland and his other Spider Senpais, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield.
Luke, why?
Oh my gosh, don't even. It's too early in the morning for that nonsense. So anyway, his two senpais basically inspired the crafting of this new suit, because we see Tom Holland's Spidey actually using a sewing machine, whereas before he relied on technology from Tony Stark and the Avengers and his vast wealth as a public appearance Spider-Man, you know. Kind of like the Power Rangers route of going to conventions and getting that sweet, sweet convention guest money. All of that is gone because Aunt May is toast and the entire world has forgotten who Peter Parker is, including his girlfriend, MJ, and his best friend, who everyone hopes becomes a hobgoblin, and maybe he will. Maybe Ned will. But no one really knows for sure.
Yeah, that's really interesting that he actually crafted this suit himself.
Yep, he made it. He sewed it. I guess he took home ec in high school. He was a high school Spider-Man. Of course, because nobody knows who he is, he had to get his GED because, well, there's no diploma for Peter Parker that doesn't exist. Now, my question is, like, with the whole magic thing, what happens to your diploma if a magic erases your name? Does that mean everything with your name just disintegrates? Or is it just, like, changed to someone else's name?
Yeah.
Or no one graduated.
Or it just disappears.
Nobody. Blank graduated. It's a blank graduation thing.
Yeah, like maybe there's a photo and it's just blank.
It could be.
In the photo yearbook.
So we would love to show you the red and blue suit with more daylight, but unfortunately, as of the recording of this video, there is no way to change the time of day in Insomniac's Spider-Man 2 game.
No.
Yes, that is actually a lot of, we'll say, I wouldn't rage, but maybe contention from the Spider fan base are not thrilled with the fact that you cannot change the time of day in Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of like listing pros and cons, you know, of the game instead of criticism, because we like the game.
We do like the game.
It's important to list the pros and cons between the different games and different Spider-Man games as well. Yeah, and just, you know, as a game journalist and as content creators.
Mostly retired game journalists.
It's good for us to basically tell you guys the pros and cons of a game. I know people get super, like, you know, oh no, you criticized it. It's like,
all up in arms.
Kind of our job.
Oh no, Web of Shadows. So the only spoiler right now is, well, I mean, obviously there's symbiotes in the game, and you guys have been seeing our live streams, but yeah, these showcases of suits have been happening as we've been playing the game. So yeah.
This is kind of neat, though. Maybe there are a lot more just random bad guys to beat up now because of the symbiotes everywhere.
Nope, there's only 2 enemies to fight at this point in the game.
Oops.
And of course Miles joins in, and sometimes the Wraith comes in, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, I think it would be neat if this game had a little bit more different types of bad guys. More,
all the thugs are being swallowed up by symbiotes, so that's
that
why you don't really see them right now. Yeah. Once, of course, you free New York City from the control of the symbiotes, then most likely we will see the regular thugs and do-rags come back.
I need more crime! Yeah!
And you will have it. Probably. So, unlike some of the other spider costumes, I was actually watching one of our Spider-Man things for reference, like how we did suit showcases. Namely, the Velocity suit from Spider-Man 2018 apparently had some nice little nuances for getting that early DLC, that sweet, sweet DLC. It had velocity powers. It made Spider-Man faster and hit harder or whatever, and he had like this jet stream behind him, or like this kind of like glow to it.
That was a cool suit.
Yeah, none of that stuff happens in this game. What we get is we have web wings and we can fly. There is some different types of web slinging, and that's pretty much it. There's really nothing else.
Maybe for Spider-Man 3, Luke. Maybe for Spider-Man 3.
I mean, this game has already sold like 3 million copies in less than a week, so I mean, chances are Spider-Man 3 are very high. But at the recording of this video too, there's no DLC. There's no DLC planned for this game. So, yeah, Insomniac pulling a Tears of the Kingdom, which also is not making them super happy with their fan base at the moment. So
it's hard because of the pandemic. I think affected a lot of people more than we know.
That's true.
So what do you think of this suit in general? Is this one of your favorites, best looking suits?
This is one of my favorite suits. It definitely is. And that's my phone being bad. So yes, this is definitely one of my favorite suits. I like the way it looks. I like the way that it really resembles Tom Holland's like final suit. I really want to see the suit more in live action though, because we only saw it briefly at the very end of the movie to show that this is a Peter Parker that is now completely isolated from the rest of the world. Everyone knows that Spider-Man exists somehow, because I mean the spell only said, "Oh, Peter Parker," but you know, Spider-Man exists, and the Avengers know of him, and the world knows of his exploits and that he fought the Vulture and some other people.
They know of him, but they don't know that's Peter Parker.
Right, they don't know it's Peter Parker because his identity was exposed to the world and then erased.
Oh wow, interesting.
I know, it's kind of convenient. It's a nice little MacGuffin.
Yeah.
But at the same time, now Peter is going to have to basically be like the other Spider-Men from out the multiverse, where they had to rely on their own ingenuity and their talents and their smarts, and try to be a better Spider-Man. So Peter, with the life lesson he got from May when she died, with great power comes great responsibility. Of course, Ben Parker motto for every Spider-Man, the canon event. Wow. It's a canon event. It's a very important part of every Spider's life for that to happen. Not for necessarily Ben to die, but for Spider-Man to learn that with great power comes great responsibility. It's kind of like their motto. So Tom Holland learned that a little bit late in life, and Green Goblin made him a true Spider-Man by giving him loss, giving him grief. Because based on his relationship with May, it didn't look like Tom Holland's Spider-Man was really impacted by the death of his uncle, unlike every other Spider-Man in existence.
Yeah, that was kind of strange.
Well, he had a loving aunt, and his aunt was young, and, you know, it was a little bit different. We also don't know what happened to that Peter's parents, but we can assume that his family is dead.
Yeah, I do remember his uncle was played by a famous actor. In
Several famous actors.
Yeah, every time. Yeah, so what do you think of the suit versus all the other suits that Tom Holland wore? Is this your favorite one of them? And do you think this will be the suit that he'll wear in the next movies going forward then, Luke?
It's gonna have to, because his really fancy suit that he had got all messed up when he fought Green Goblin.
Oh, right.
Green Goblin kind of decimated him, so I mean, there's no way to repair the suit. He definitely knows Happy, but Happy doesn't know who he is.
Oh, yeah.
It's possible that maybe the Avengers or somebody could be like, "Hey, Spider-Man, we happen to be in the neighborhood and saw that, you know, you've been basically wearing spandex again, so we figured, you know, based on what you did with Tony, that we remember, kind of, or Iron Man, we're gonna gift you an Avenger suit because, you know, we owe you some royalties or something." But that might not happen.
I hope that Spider-Man stays. I feel like it's kind of weird with Spider-Man in the Avengers for me. I kind of hope he stays independent, and I actually like this suit better than any of the fancy ones Tony Stark gave him, and I just think him making his own suit is like a Jedi making their own lightsaber, so I think that it's important for him to
It's a rite of spider passage.
Yeah, I think it's his own thing. Like, even if they could make him a fancier one, I think that Spider-Man should stick with his own suit.
Ha! Stick. I like that. Yeah, I agree. I
Stick to
think
the
that
classics.
he should have his own suit because I mean that's what makes him Spider-Man, is a guy who is literally the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man trying to do stuff with the community and save um, anyone he can. He can't save everyone, which is a lesson he had to learn hard with Aunt May. Before,
Yeah.
it felt like he was kind of like Spider's sidekick and could do pretty much anything he wanted. And a lot of people tend to, you know, bring that up quite a bit. Like when speaking with the MCU, it's like when he goes stacked up against other Spider-Men, it's like, well, his feats aren't really as awesome as some of the other Spider-Men because, you know, he has all the help from the Avengers and he can do this and he can do that and he has these resources. All that's gone now. So what I would really like, especially with Peter going to college, him meeting someone who's not his future wife, Zendaya, and having, you know, introduced like Black Cat or maybe Gwen Stacy, somebody new, a different love interest in college, because MJ is very happy with who she believes she's supposed to be with, which is Ned. Or,
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So he can't really break them up at this point,
no,
even though
wouldn't be right.
Even though really he knows who is supposed to be with her, but he can't really do that. How are you supposed to, you know,
In the new magic world that was created after Peter Parker was erased from the world, yeah, she never fell in love with Peter. All her memories of romance ended up being with Peter's best friend. So basically, like the Harry Osborn of that universe.
Yeah, Ned became the Harry Osborn. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yep. That's what it seems like.
They always have Harry, except for in there's some universes where he's not, but I feel like Harry is always more like outgoing, more cool, more confident, has better hair than Peter. I feel like Harry is always like a few steps above Peter, and it's always like, oh my gosh, why is she choosing Peter and not Harry? But I mean, that's kind of what it is. Harry is always. I'm not trying to be rude. Oh wow, it just was mean there.
Poor Peter. Poor Peter Parker.
I just feel like Harry is a few points above Peter in like every incarnation.
Poor Pete. Pete can't catch a break.
Well, it's. I mean, look at the Tobey Maguire Harry. He's just, you know, he's the one who was outgoing enough to actually ask her out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're both sweet, they're both fun guys, but it's just like Harry is the one who actually does it. He asks her out, or Harry is the one who kind of, you know, gives Mary Jane those flowers or does what she really wants. And, you know, like Peter's kind of clueless on the side. No offense, Peter, but like it's harder. It's harder for him. But it doesn't mean that he's not her perfect guy, though. Peter just has to, you know, try harder. Not trying to be rude.
Not trying to be rude, but yeah.
Peter's like, wow, this video has taken a bad turn.
Oh, and we've reached the point of no return.
Oh, you actually rode the train.
I rode the train.
Yay.
As far as it would go until it said, nope, you can't go anymore. Not happening.
So yeah, we'll see. Maybe Ned will be the suave, cool, confident guy that Peter just can't compete with.
I mean...
Which is hard for me to believe because Ned is super shy and he was kind of like behind the desk. So maybe he will turn into that cool, confident guy because, you know, he's got Mary Jane on his arm.
Well, they said Spider-Man 4 is in development, so they're in the writing phase right now. But I really hope that they will stay with just Peter going to college and him dealing with a, we'll say, New York City central threat that doesn't have the Fantastic Four or the X-Men or any Marvel hero show up, other than maybe like a little cameo for Daredevil or something. But something in regards to like maybe Peter gets a parking ticket or something happens where Spider-Man has to go to court or something. I don't know. It's something interesting that you could kind of work Murdoch in, because, I mean, PD is living near Hell's Kitchen now, like, judging by where his apartment is at the end of the movie. He's no longer in Queens. He would be in one of the cheapest parts of New York.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
I mean, it is hard for me to hear cheap and New York in the same sentence, but I guess there are some...
There are dumpy places in New York.
Yeah.
Aha! Thanks for the assist,
Well,
Miles.
that's good, Luke. Luke, you and I have a opportunity to go to New York then.
No thanks. Don't want to do that. Don't want to do that.
Well, he doesn't have to worry about crime, Peter.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
that-
he's the Crime Stopper.
That was
Would you want to
Miles.
rob Spider-Man's apartment? No thanks.
No, I don't think so. Yeah.
I don't want a one-way trip to the ER, like, for accidentally stealing a web shooter. Also, what happens if I take his web shooter out of his house, and I'm climbing out of, we'll say, like, the balcony, and all of a sudden the web shooter goes off and it propels me off the balcony?
Oh my gosh, yeah, that would be.
Now, would it make me stick to the ground, like in this game, like where no thug actually ends up getting killed, or would something more dramatic happen and I go spider splat?
Yeah.
Don't really know. These are the questions, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, what I always would worry about if I was a thug versus Spider-Man is when he puts that stuff like over their mouth or something when they're talking. Like, oh, how gross would that stuff like taste on your mouth? And like,
Ooh.
would that be sanitary?
No, it wouldn't be.
Is that coming out of his like mechanical web shooters that who knows if he washes those every day?
Even if they're mechanical webs, he uses chemicals to make them.
Yeah, so it's
So, I
like,
mean,
but I mean, those people are criminals, so it's like, well, they get, at least he's not killing them, I guess.
as far as
I
we
don't
know, he
know.
holds that same spider truth that, you know, Spider-Man doesn't kill.
Yeah, I mean, has Spider-Man ever taken a lie detector test and been like, have you ever killed a man? And he, like, can't answer the question.
There's been Spider-Men that have killed in the comics, but it did have repercussions.
I mean, technically, Tobey Maguire sort of killed, but he was in a fight to the death. Like,
He was
between-
manslaughter Spider. He didn't
Yeah,
kill
he's
people.
not a murderer.
He kind of pulled like a Batman Begins with Norman Osborn. Like the dude was getting ready to skewer him, and the spider sense went off, and then you know it was kind of too late to stop the glider, I guess, and that was the end of Norman.
Yeah.
But technically, maybe Peter could have prevented that. He also was a very young Spider-Man at that point too, so you have to have it up to like a thing of survival. Pete was already kind of beaten up and then shocked by who the Goblin was, and his spider sense was kind of like giving him that edge to survive, and Pete took it, you know,
Yeah.
and Norman kind of was literally hoisted by his own Goblin glider. That was the end for Norman Osborn, and
Yeah.
he kind of did it to himself.
It's like the old thing, in even like really old black and white movies where the enemy lays a trap and then they fall into their own trap, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. He literally got skewered by his own sense of
Symbiote just grabbed
justice, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I really think that. Well, I was just remembering, yeah, Doc Ock was in that movie and Electro, but the final villain being Green Goblin. Was, I think that movie with 3 Spider-Men could only have one person play the bad guy for the end, and that was William Dafoe.
Yeah.
I think without him,
Can you stop rocking back and forth? You're making me dizzy. I'm not on a sea ship here.
without him, and also of course, you know, the other 2 villains were amazing actors as well, and awesome villains. But all 3 of them, that was really amazing. He brought that last scene to light, you know. William Dafoe as the Green Goblin. That was pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's going to be really hard when they finally recast the Green Goblin because, I mean, he owns that role, so... And he always wanted to play the Joker, that's the funny thing.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Wow. He could have been a great Joker.
Yep. I mean, maybe someday he still could be, but he's getting up there in years now.
Yeah.
But he really hated the Goblin mask, though, so the fact that he was able to take care of the Goblin mask while still playing the role was pretty exciting for him. But, I mean, he got tons of face time, but at the same time, I would have preferred if he had the mask on sometimes when he was actually the Goblin. Like, it felt kind of weird to see kind of like deep fake William Dafoe, because they made him look a little bit younger, but also he was a little aged, but...
yeah, or maybe they could have given him like a different type of mask that wasn't as like crazy.
Yeah, maybe like a little less like constricting or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Like he could have had his own mask in this universe. But I think they wanted to bring in the classic mask a little bit to like for nostalgia.
Yeah, but he did show it being shattered and stuff like that. So
Yeah, so I'm very excited about Tom Holland using like I'm hoping he will wear this spider costume going forward in the next movie.
probably should.
And,
I don't see why he wouldn't. I mean, what else is he gonna wear?
This is one of the most like nice like not deep red, but you know like very bright red, like saturated red color. It just stands out really, really well. And
If they keep this suit, it is one of the most comic accurate Spider-Man suits we've ever had on film, because
wow.
the web suit and some of this other stuff, like while red and blue, it was kind of like a darker red and blue, and
Oh,
the
yeah.
webbing was very prominent on Tobey Maguire's suit. Andrew Garfield's was kind of like too light of a red and blue, like for his second suit,
Yeah.
going for more of the more comic thing, but still going a little bit too far and making it look kind of comical. Whereas it felt like at the end of Tom Holland's movie, it had just enough blue shine to it. The spandex look, the red looked great, the spider emblem was perfect, the eyes looked great.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, the sky's the limit, and hopefully Tom will stay with the role. I am assuming he's going to be Spider-Man for at least 3 more movies. They're probably going to introduce Miles Morales and Black Cat and who knows who else.
Yeah, it's one of the most cool. It's one of the most beautiful looking Spider-Man suits I've ever seen in the game or in the movies. It looks great. It looks fantastic.
It does. All right, Spider Friends, that is going to do it for our showcase of the new red and blue suit. In the comment section below, tell us your favorite Spidey suit and why it's your favorite. Also, we're still doing our giveaway for this game, so hit up the first episode of our series in order to find out more details on that. And we hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Today is, unfortunately, the finale of Spider-Man, but we have a little bit of post-game goodness coming your way, so we hope you guys will support that as well. And we'll see you guys live later today with something else. Oh, somebody scratched my spider suit.
Man,
Yeah.
someone has ruined it. Oh, it's okay.
It's been scuffed a little bit there.
That makes him a true hero. Without a scuff mark on it, it's not a real spider suit.
I can't stop staring at it. Anyway, guys and
Don't
gals,
look at it.
God bless and happy gaming. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you live later today.
See ya.